I want to bring a conversation about how urban and rural poverty comes to college with students. I wanted to understand how structural inequalities in our neighborhoods and in our schools shape how students move through college because it's not an individual thing. Students come to college, but they're not coming alone. Like they have more than just extra long twin sheets stored in their boxes and suitcases, right? They bring a whole host of experiences and orientations. And what I really want to show is there's a hidden curriculum that permeates higher education, from community colleges to Ivy League university. There is a system of unwritten rules and unset expectations that we believe that any student who have made it into college knows, but really it's highly classed. I always use the example of office hours, right? How many people have ever heard the term office hours before their freshman year? They usually fall in one of two categories. Either your parents or someone in your family is able to pass on that knowledge to you, or you attend a high school that is wealthy enough to be modeled after a college where they incorporate some of this language and some of the behavior of universities into the everyday thing, everyday running of campus. I asked, I did a book tour this past year and I did more than 70 talks across the country. I still cannot name 10 faculty members that I've met in all those engagements who have done this one thing: define office hours on their first day of class or on their syllabus prior to the book being published. After, I got emails and text messages and picture messages of people that, defining office hours on their first day of class. But office hours is kind of like one of those things that if you've been on a college campus, you know what they are. But if you haven't, you don't know that office hours are a time that faculty are required to set aside to meet with students. It's not a burden, it's part of our job. I had a conversation with the dean from Dean College, a working class college here in Massachusetts. And the dean asked me, Tony, she said, Tony, how can I increase academic engagement among our first gen and lower income college students? I said, let's do something simple. Let's define office hours. And so when she reached out to her students, she came back with something that was very interesting. She said that when she asked her students why they didn't visit her in office hours, they told her, when you said that your office hours are from 2 to 4, we thought that was your time to do your work in your office undisturbed.
Right.
Right? Something was lost in translation, right?
Yes.
They only heard her say, my office hours are from 2 to 4. There's a 50-50 chance that you see that as her being there working on her work or her being there waiting for you to stop by. But how does social class shape who feels comfortable engaging with adults one on one? We know that many students are oriented to treat teachers with deference and distance. And those students tend to be more often working class or poor. They tend to be from overcrowded schools, or at least even if not overcrowded, under-resourced schools. People who are not able to do this kind of one-on-one communication with students for 30 minutes at a time. But if you went to Andover, Exeter, St. Paul, Hockaday, Thatcher, schools that have a student-teacher ratio of 7 to 1, office hours and close contact with faculty, no matter if you're rich or poor, become second nature by the time you enter college. And so, we may be admitting students. We may have the right financial aid policies in place. We may have the right kind of outreach and admissions in place. But once students get on campus, they encounter a new culture, a new set of rules, regulations, customs that only, quite frankly, money and experience can give you access to before you enter. And many students who don't have it, they struggle. And I want to push back and say, well, if you're going to say that your door is open, don't just lead students to the gate and then let them wander. You have to do the work of integrating them as well.